This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. Silverado scores 28 unanswered points to break a 20-20 deadlock against Granite Hills and soar to the Hawks' third consecutive Desert Sky League championship. Nicholas Reed Casey scores 3 touchdowns. He scores on back-to-back carries here on his final carry of the first half, and then the backbreaker, his first carry of the second half, a second and third effort, 86 yards to lead Silverado to its unbeaten DSL mark and last regular season game before the playoffs. Granite Hills met with success on first half execution of plays like this. Quarterback Feliciano Hernandez has scoring passes to senior wide receivers Alex Gonzalez and Mike Gutierrez. The Cougars pull even at 20 on a Tayshawn Brown touchdown with very little time remaining in the second quarter. The Cougars answer Silverado's first 3 touchdowns with points of their own, and their defense keeps the game at a 20-20 standoff until Silverado's final possession before halftime. The Cougars contribute to their own downfall with unforced errors. High snap to their punter results in Mason Taylor's recovery, setting up the Hawks' second scoring drive of the third quarter. 2 plays later, Anthony Jackson gets outside and in, scoring from 9 yards out. The senior signal caller had scored earlier on a 6-yard run. 64 is Nick Still, 6'3", 280-pound senior. Anthony Jackson also throws for 252 yards this game. Oliver Sanchez, his receiver, over the middle and into the red zone on this completion. Defensive highlights include a number of outstanding plays by Cougars defenders. 5 is Devin McGill. Watch Tayshawn Brown, 21, from his middle linebacker position. Tayshawn Brown was an All-Desert Sky League running back last year. Look for him to be named All-DSL on both sides of the ball this season. Hawks defensive highlights include the seldom seen head slap sack, this one executed by Anthony Austin. On numerous occasions, it looks as if Silverado is calling the Cougars plays. Anthony Austin, 31, throwing the Granite Hills ball carrier for a loss on this play. This Devin Gandy punt return for a touchdown is called back due to an illegal block thrown during the return. Silverado has completed its regular season slate of games. They have a bye week before the opening round of CIF playoffs. Silverado enters this contest ranked 10th in Division 6, 1 rung below Serrano, suggesting a possible pairing of the Hawks and Diamondbacks in postseason play. For Granite Hills, another major Desert Sky League encounter looms. The Cougars are at Adelanto for second place in the league and the higher Division 13 playoff pairing. This online sports report presented by Valu Quality Truck Bodies, family owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, supporting teams, schools, and athletes throughout the Victor Valley. Apple Valley scores on a Jeff Widener to Jeremy Justice 1-yard pass, a 10-yard Chad Smith rushing touchdown, a Xander Witt pass interception for a touchdown in the first 8 minutes. En route to their 56-7 rout at Hesperia, the victory combines with Oak Hill's 24-0 win at Serrano to set up the showdown at the Dog Pound, Sun Devils versus Bulldogs for the Mojave River League title. Xander Witt does not wait for Apple Valley's first offensive possession to catch a pass and score. The pass thrown by Hesperia's quarterback, the touchdown, a 50-yard return on the interception. It was the Scorpions' second play from scrimmage to start the game. Xander Witt also caught a Jeff Widener pass for a touchdown. His 16 TD receptions tops in the state. As for Jeff Widener, touchdown passes, 2 go to junior Jeremy Justice II. The 6'3", 185-pound junior is a two-way starter and one of the most versatile Sun Devils. At wide receiver, 14 receptions on the season. This scoring pass, the 4th TD reception on the year for Jeremy Justice. It is from 1 yard out. Jeff Widener's 4 scoring strikes this game give him 45 on the year. Junior Ryan Webster also catches a Jeff Widener TD pass against the Scorpions. Team tackles leader Jesse Griggs, 42, adds 10 tackles against the Scorpions to his resume. That includes 5 for a loss, the first coming on Hesperia's first play from scrimmage. Jesse Griggs, 6 foot, 205-pound senior linebacker, 90 tackles on the season. Chad Smith carries 14 times for 113 yards to lead ball carriers in the Hesperia victory, the Sun Devils' 9th win without a loss. Apple Valley's offense will need to be hitting on all cylinders when they go to Oak Hills, the Bulldogs coming off their shutout of Serrano.
Down Home Grill Online Sports Report. Action highlights brought to you by Down Home Grill. Burgers from organic grass-fed beef. Breakfast from organic eggs. Great food, homemade, GMO, and many gluten-free.
Down Home Grill is open daily, 6 in the morning till 10 at night. Located at the corner of Nutritious and Delicious, Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive in Victorville. Re-elect Richard Dick Sowers to the Apple Valley Unified School District School Board. The Apple Valley Unified School District is rock solid in rising above tide after tide of changes that erode California's public school system. Dick Sowers seeks your vote. His leadership has helped Apple Valley Unified School District stay ahead of the curve in preparing students for their future, putting learning to work. But you can't hit if you don't swing. Your vote is needed to swing this very important election that will decide the future direction of the Apple Valley Unified School District. Re-elect Richard Dick Sowers to the Apple Valley Unified School District School Board. The Dog Pound Showdown for the Mojave River League Championship. Apple Valley at Oak Hills. The top-ranked team in CIF Division 5, the Sun Devils, against the number 5-ranked team in Division 4, the Bulldogs. Does a team's high ranking put added pressure on them or give them greater incentive?
I feel like it's neither. I feel like rankings don't mean anything because once you step on the field with whoever you're playing, all that goes out the door, and once you play, and the best man wins.
Odds makers have a number of good reasons to favor the Bulldogs, beginning with the home field advantage and continuing with every statistical comparison. The CIF football poll that ranks all Southern California teams, regardless of division, has the Bulldogs at 44th, the Sun Devils at 77th. Coach Robert Kistner's Dogs have played a far tougher schedule. Their 2 losses to Division II Heritage and Cajon's number 1 in Division III Cowboys. Comparative scores also favor Oak Hills, especially the results against Serrano. The Bulldogs blanked a Diamondbacks team 24-0 that scored 14 points in Serrano's 18-point loss at Apple Valley. The Bulldogs' strength is their defense. They have held Mojave River League opponents to a total 27 points, compared to Apple Valley giving up 59, 31 to Sultana alone. The Sun Devils rank 77th in that poll, listing Oak Hills 44th. Fact is, on paper, the Bulldogs should be the solid favorite over the Sun Devils. But Apple Valley does not score on paper. The Sun Devils score at such a rapid pace that the deciding factor in the Mojave River League Championship game will be whether Oak Hills can hold down Apple Valley's high-powered offense. No team has stopped Jeff Widener this season, nor last season for that matter. Jeff Widener has thrown 45 touchdown passes in Apple Valley's 9 games, and he has as talented an array of receivers as any team in the Southland. Xander Witt leads the state in touchdown receptions, 16, at least one in every game. Jeff Widener to Xander Witt has become the most prolific passer-receiver combination in school history. If Oak Hill's defenders have Xander Witt covered, Jeff Widener has 4 other receivers with double-digit receptions and blazing speed. Sophomore Tyron Smith has caught 7 touchdown passes. Junior Jeremy Justice III hauled in 2 more scoring passes in last week's win over Hesperia, giving him 4 on the year. And then there is Chad Smith, back the last 2 games after sidelined by a hand injury. 8 touchdowns for Chad Smith as a receiver. But look to his offensive contributions to come more in the ball-carrying department. He has shouldered a growing load of running back duties in the ongoing absence of top ground gainer Donovan Ferguson. Chad Smith is averaging 11 yards a carry. But back to Jeff Widener's core of receivers. Another burner is senior David Blocker Jr., 10 catches on the year, including 2 scoring passes. Cover the wideouts, and Jeff Widener hits a tight end, Jesse Griggs. Here, Jesse Griggs has caught a grand total of 2 passes all season, both for touchdowns. Or there is 6'3", 240-pound junior Ryan Webster, who has 6 receptions on the year, 3 for touchdowns. Jeff Widener's 45 TD passes have gone to 8 different receivers. Jeff Widener is completing 65% of his passes. He has thrown for 2,850 yards. That's 2,850. He has thrown how many interceptions? 1. So, how do the Bulldogs stop Jeff Widener? Unleash their sack attack. Oak Hills has 20 sacks of opposing quarterbacks in their 9 games. Tackles for a loss leader, Ben Coffer, 54, has 4 of those sacks. Bulldogs' leading tackler on the season is Jose Macias, 20, who will line up at linebacker or free safety. Will it come down to whether Apple Valley's offensive line can give Jeff Widener time to throw? Will we see Coach Matt Rohrbaugh's quest for a second straight undefeated MRL season come to be? Or will the Bulldogs reclaim the Mojave River League title they lost last year to these Sun Devils? This much for certain. Friday, October 26th on the Oak Hills campus, it is the Super Bowl of Mojave River League games this season. Winner take all for the championship. Oak Hills showdown against Apple Valley for the MRL title, not the only big game this final week of regular season play. Granite Hills goes to Adelanto in a shootout for second place in the Desert Sky League. Both teams are ranked in CIF Division 13, the Saints at 3, the Cougars 9. That makes the outcome an enormous factor in how and where these 2 teams are seated in the opening round of CIF playoffs the week following. This has been a true breakthrough season for the Saints. First-year coach Gali Wadood has his Saints at 8-1, most wins ever in Adelanto football history. Their lone loss against Silverado Hawks in that 16-12 DSL encounter. Junior quarterback Angel Ochoa brings a school record 1,543 yards passing into the regular season finale. He has thrown 23 touchdown passes. Leading ground gainer Marshawn Buchanan has surpassed 1,300 yards rushing and has scored 9 touchdowns. Marshawn Buchanan, a junior, as is Saints' leading scorer Hosea Stokes, 16 touchdowns, 8 rushing, 8 receiving. These 3 underclassmen lead the Adelanto offense. The Cougars must try and find a way to slow down. The Saints are averaging 26 points a game. 7-2, Granite Hills has to hope it is not a case of out of the frying pan into the fire. The Cougars lost their bid for the DSL title last week, 42-20 to Silverado, a comparative score that heavily favors the Saints. Coach Alex Gonzalez, Cougars are led by Tayshawn Brown, both offensively and defensively. The super strong running back should surpass 1,500 yards rushing Friday. He needs 22 to achieve that milestone. He has scored a team-high 20 touchdowns. Tayshawn Brown was also Granite Hills' leading tackler in last week's loss to Silverado. Those Hawks are sitting back watching the four other DSL teams battle it out this week, a bye week for Silverado, whose DSL title-clinching victory last week lifts them to fourth in the CIF Division 6 poll. Elsewhere Friday, the annual Battle for the Axe, Victor Valley against Barstow. It is also a skirmish to see whether the Jackrabbits or Aztecs escape the DSL cellar. While Apple Valley and Oak Hills are fighting it out for the MRL championship, other regular season-ending pairings have Serrano at Sultana in the MRL. The Diamondbacks are ranked 8th in CIF Division 6. A Sultana upset would throw Sultana and Serrano into a tie for 3rd in the MRL, with the Sultans getting the nod for that playoff berth. Hesperia Scorpions' first-year coach, Casey Goodnow, has his team favored at Burroughs in a battle between MRL teams seeking their first league victory.
This online sports report presented by Valu Quality Truck Bodies. Family owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, supporting teams, schools, and athletes throughout the Victor Valley. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting high desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. Re-elect Richard Dick Sowers to the Apple Valley Unified School District School Board. Your vote is needed to swing this very important election that will decide the future direction of the Apple Valley Unified School District. Re-elect Richard Dick Sowers to the Apple Valley Unified School District School Board.
At the 40. Victor Valley College sets Citrus back on its heels with a mighty high-impact first-quarter attack in the Rams' bid to upset a powerful and heavily favored Owls in this American Mountain Conference battle. Coach Dave Hoover's offensive game plan is executed masterfully early on, led by quarterback Evan Nelson. The 6'3", 185-pound sophomore from La Crescenta completes 9 passes in the first quarter, including this 13-yard scoring pass to Kadeem Richards. VVC's offense controls the ball for 11 minutes of the opening stanza, while the defense shuts down and shuts out the highly touted Owls. Rams' first play from scrimmage. Marique Pitts, 14 yards to midfield. Marique Pitts, 5'6", 165-pound sophomore out of Neptune, Florida. 2nd and 8 at the 48. Evan Nelson's first pass of the day, complete to Samaj Brewer, the 6'2", 180-pound freshman wide receiver from Kansas City. A penalty moves the Rams back. This is 3rd and 13 at the 46. Evan Nelson rifles the completion to Kadeem Richards, the freshman tailback who scored 4 touchdowns the week prior at Mount San Jacinto. 3 yards on the quick pass to Marique Pitts out of the backfield. It brings up a 3rd and 7 at the 27. Evan Nelson to Andrew Glass, the 6'3", 195-pound sophomore and former Granite Hills Cougar, the 4th receiver catching a pass on this initial drive. The Citrus defense ranks #1 in the state against the run, and the Rams' opening drive ends when they turn the ball over on downs. Despite nothing to show on the scoreboard, Victor Valley College held the ball for the first 4.5 minutes of the ball game, and the Rams defense is about to get the ball right back. Citrus leads the American Mountain Conference in offense. This is the Owls' first play from scrimmage. 4 for the Rams is Carlos Majaras, another former Granite Hills Cougar. The 5'10", 185-pound sophomore defensive back leads his team in interceptions this season. Watch Ram number 44, Lucio Monroy. The Rams force Citrus 3 and out. Lucio Monroy, the sack on 3rd down. Lucio Monroy is a freshman linebacker from DeVille, Texas. He is listed at 5'10", 210. VVC's second possession begins at their own 44. Marique Pitt's longest run of the afternoon, 17 yards across midfield to the Owls' 39. Rams center 72 is 265-pound sophomore Sebastian Sanchez. Evan Nelson just beats the pass rush. 14 is Reggie Say, freshman wide receiver from San Bernardino. 70 on the O-line is Awahapanatini, 270 freshman from Las Vegas. 52 Kanoa Tilmoar, 270 from Hawaii. Marique Pitts is the 3rd leading ball carrier in the conference, averaging just over 80 yards per game. He grinds for 9 here to the 16. Offensive lineman number 57 is Devin Fisher, 6'6", 290, freshman, former Apple Valley Sun Devil. 2nd and 1 at the 16. Evan Nelson to Kadeem Richards. A flock of 4 Owls unable to bring down the 5'9", 170-pound freshman from Monticello, New York. This is 3rd and 11 from the 13. Evan Nelson back to Kadeem Richards. 6 points. Rams. 11th touchdown pass for Skevin Nelson. 4th touchdown reception on the year for Kadeem Richards, who has become the Rams' leading scorer. 10 touchdowns on the season, plus a pair of 2-point conversions. Coach Dave Hoover's offensive game plan being executed so effectively in the early going. 7-0 Rams with 6.5 remaining in the first quarter. Citrus leads the conference in kick return yardage. We see how and why on this kickoff. Jeremiah Jackson finally running down the kick returning Owl, but VVC catches a break to end this Citrus threat. The Rams defense takes it away. The Owls pulling guard jars the ball loose on the handoff, and Rams defender number 1, David Reeves III, recovers the fumble. David Reeves is a freshman defensive back out of Denver. The Rams have dodged a bullet, getting it back deep in their own territory at the 11. VVC is unable to sustain a drive, but this possession does include another clutch 3rd and long pass completion by Evan Nelson, 26 yards to Samaj Brewer out to the 35. But we are seeing the last stages of VVC's success in the air against the Owls. 114 of Evan Nelson's 125 yards passing this game come in the first half. How much confidence does Coach Dave Hoover have in his Rams defense? VVC gambles on 4th and 4 at their own 41, and the Rams have turned the ball over on downs to the Owls. Jabari Lewis with the tackle for a loss. The 5'10", 220-pound Jabari Lewis averages 5.5 tackles a game. His 10 tackles for a loss leads the team in that department. The freshman linebacker is from Davenport, Florida. The Rams defense comes through. Lucio Monroy first to make contact, then Robert Butler III, 11. 2 is Darren Woodson, and 5 Christian Roper. VVC gets the ball back, taking over on downs. Time winding down in the first 15-minute quarter. The Rams offense begins to stutter and stall. Delay of the game precedes this 9-yard run by Marique Pitts, but the Rams enter the second quarter holding on to their 7-0 lead. Coach Dave Hoover's mood is far less mellow from here on out. he chastises his O-line for the sacks they are allowing. The frequency of sacks increases, though, and takes its toll, and dropped passes add to the inefficiency of the aerial attack. 2 dropped passes on this possession alone preceded this attempt. Accuracy off the mark, overshooting receiver Zion Hood, the former Sultana High School Sultan. Evan Nelson tries to spread the wealth when it comes to his receivers, but this takes it to the extreme. He catches his own pass, blocked pass, be it may, a 6-yard gain, but doubtful the Rams will add that to their playbook. Highlights of former High Desert High School standouts include 45 Cameron Spratley, 6'1", 230-pound sophomore linebacker, playing on his home turf when he was a Silverado Hawk. Keyshawn Wilson is credited with a sack on this play. Keyshawn Wilson, 22, played at Adelanto High School. He is a 5'11", 180-pound freshman defensive back. Former Apple Valley Sun Devils Mossy Bell returns to the highlights reel, this time scrambling and emerging from the pack for a 33-yard gain, longest play of the afternoon for the Rams this game. 7 is another one-time Apple Valley Sun Devil, Nathan Crouch, now 6'3", 260, assisting Jeremiah Jackson on the tackle for a loss. Watch for number 34, Paul Gallardo. He'll emerge from the stack of Rams tacklers on this play. Paul Gallardo played at Sultana. He is 5'11", 210, a freshman linebacker. Big number 71, offensive lineman Andrew Soriano, is a 6'2", 300-pound freshman who played at Riverside Prep. He nearly comes up with the loose ball on this play late in the game. Next, home game for the Rams. First Saturday in November, the last Rams home game of the year. The opponent, San Bernardino Valley.
Griner Buick GMC brings you Victor Valley College Sports Online Reports, presented by Griner Buick GMC in Victorville. Griner supports Victor Valley College Rams.
The Victor Valley College Lady Rams open the season at home Friday, November 2nd, hosting Mira Costa. We flash back to last season and Lady Rams and Barstow College Lady Vikings all-conference selection. The Barstow College Lady Vikings placed 2 players on the Western State East All-Conference team, and the Victor Valley College Lady Rams have 1 player earn first-team all-conference honors. Lady Rams' leading scorer, Olivia Huff, averaged 11 points a game her sophomore season. The 5'7" Olivia Huff also led Coach Ricky Thomas's ladies in rebounding. The former Hesperia Christian Lady Patriot leaves her mark in the Victor Valley College record books. Her 7 3-pointers in one game ties the school mark set by fellow sharpshooters Tania Hill and Mary Galindo. The Barstow College Lady Vikings will have both of their all-conference players back next season. Zoe Hartman averaged 16.5 points a game for the Lady Vikings. She is a 5'9" freshman from Dusseldorf, Germany. Anne-Marie Hernandez led the Lady Vikings in rebounds, 9 a game. The 5'9" freshman averaged 10 points a game for the Lady Vikings. Anne-Marie Hernandez was first-team All-Desert Sky League her senior year, playing for the Barstow High School Lady Aztecs. Midway Home Solutions Action Highlights. This video sports online report presented by Midway Home Solutions. Midway features a huge selection of kitchen appliances, home and laundry appliances, electronics, furniture, and mattresses. Midway Home Solutions. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting high desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events.